This piece of plastic costs $100. When I found out about that, I could not believe the price. I thought it was amazing. Plastic is really cheap, but this is like super special plastic, and it was $100, and I had to have it. And I'll show you where I found it. I found it right there. That's where I found it. But you can only find it in this spot for it to cost $100. Story time! So the story starts a few days ago. I was up like really late, editing videos, doing stuff, and I was up till like 2 in the morning. And finally by 2 I was like, alright, I had it. You know, tomorrow's another day. And I went up to bed, but of course I couldn't sleep. So finally at 3 in the morning I fell asleep. At 3:30 I woke up and I couldn't breathe. I woke up gasping, coughing. I had acid reflux. It happens. I don't get this often. It's like once, maybe twice a year. Very infrequent, so it's not really a big problem. But unfortunately it happened. Now if I lay there, the acid reflux will continue and I won't be able to breathe again, and that wouldn't be good. So I said, well, I guess I'm just going to have to get up. So I got up. And I went down to, where else? The computer. I said, the hell with editing, let me catch up on some of the videos I wanted to watch. So I'm watching everybody's videos, and I'm watching everybody's videos, and I'm watching everybody's videos. So time is ticking by, and it's about 5 in the morning, and the Whiff's car is parked right in front of the house where it always is. And I got up, I had to go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom, and I came back, and as I went back into my office, I looked out the front window, and there was her car in front of the house where it was supposed to be. And I said, huh? That doesn't look right. Why does it look like half the back tire is missing? The hell? It looked like lower. I said, nah, I gotta mow the lawn. The lawn is just too high and it's eating up like half the hubcap, you know. That's all it is. It's just taller there. And I said, no, I don't. Let me go out and check. So I went out at 5 in the morning, and sure enough, that tire was flat as a fucking pancake. Oh, fuck. Now what? Well, it so turns out that 2 weeks ago, I had checked the oil on her car and noticed it was a bit low, and I made a red flag in my mind saying, in 2 more weeks, I'm going to check this again, and I'm probably going to have to add some. So about 7:30 that morning, because I knew the tire place opened at 8, about 7:30 that morning I went outside and checked the oil, and yeah, it was time. I said, let me put a bit in. It's really, you know, it gets a bit low because it's an old car at this point, and, you know, it burns a bit of oil and stuff. So I just add periodically, you know, very rarely, but I check it and make sure everything's good. And I didn't want to put the cart before the horse, so to speak. So I said, let me put oil in the engine first. And boy, it was funny because people go out for their morning walks, and here's this car with a flatter than flat tire in the back, and I'm putting oil in like it's going to fix anything. That was kind of funny. Anyways, I said, all right, yeah, that piece of plastic was in the fucking sidewall. Now, if you have a car and you've ever had a puncture in your tire, usually if it's a nail or a screw or anything like that, they can put a plug in and patch it and everything will be fine. Nope, when it hits through the sidewall, it can't be repaired, and I knew that already. So I said, oh shit. Alright, well, the piece was actually still in the tire, so I said, you know what, let me go ahead and just get some air in there and see what'll happen. So I went and I dragged out the long air hose from the big compressor, and I put air in. And I put air in, tires pumping up, filling up, filling up, filling up. Everything's good, and that thing was leaking air so fast, within really 5-10 minutes, it was completely flat again. I said, well, there's no way we could possibly make it to the tire place just by putting air in, unless you wanted to stop because I mean, you stop at a traffic light, that's 3 minutes right there that you can't stop the air pissing out. I said, oh shit, we're going to have to put the spare on here. Well, it's not a problem putting the spare on. The only problem is I haven't done it in almost like 22 years or so. And in the 22 years that that have happened in that time. I have incredible back pain and all kinds of other old people shit. So it was a challenge, to say the least. Fortunately, the jack was in there and the whiff was around so she could help and stuff like that. I got the car jacked up, no problem. And I got the wrench on the lug nuts and they came off. That wasn't a problem. And I got the tire off and we got the spare out of the trunk and it still had air, a whole 5 psi. All set. I could not, for the life of me, lift that tire to get it just in position on the wheel studs. It was very, very difficult. But I found that just by lowering the car, because it has like a scissor jack with a crank, I got it just in the right position where I had to lift it like that much and just got it on there. Anyway, we locked the spare on there. And in the meantime, I had called the tire place. What I didn't tell you was that 5 weeks ago, I had replaced the rear tires on her car. And of course, that's the one that decided to buy this piece of plastic. So I called the guy and I said, hey, look me up in the system, please. I got some tires from me. He's like, okay, what's up? I said, I got a puncture in the sidewall, so looks like I'm going to need a new one. He says, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Let me make sure I have them. So he puts me on hold and he says, nope, sorry, I'm out of them. Just my luck, right? I love that kind. So anyway, he decided to feel helpful, and he says, you just need the one? I said, yeah. He says, I can get one for you. Give me some time, and I'll give you a call back. All right. So in the meantime, we put the spare on. About an hour later or so, he calls. He said, all right, I got your tire. And I went down there, and it cost me $100. So that's how you can buy that piece of plastic for $100. I got home from there. We actually went out to breakfast after that. Had breakfast, got home about 12:30. I was up for 31 hours straight and finally crashed. What a hell of a fucking day. And it's not even October yet. But I wasn't terribly upset, okay? There are hazards on the road all the time. This piece of plastic, your tire, my tire, anybody's tire could have decided that it had to have that thing at any time. There's some hazard in the road with your name on it, somewhere. It'll happen. So I wasn't terribly upset. It sucks that it went through the sidewall and I had to get a new tire. Would have been nicer if it was just in the tread and could have been plugged, but hey, shit happens, as they say. So I wasn't upset about the $100 too much. Wasn't $100 I was counting on spending, but hey, what are you going to do? What I was upset about was all the scrapes on the fucking tire. I bought those tires 5 weeks prior. I had those on the car for 5 weeks, and it's all scuffed the fuck up already. That pissed me off more than the damn thing ruining the tire. Fuck my life. FML, Twitter, OMG, and all this other millennial shit. Let me go on my phone. OMG, and fuck October coming early. It's coming earlier and earlier every fucking year, and I'm goddamn tired of it. But at the end of the day, the engine has enough oil in it, the tire's fixed, the car is running fine, hallelujah, I even got some sleep. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.